Redskins and the Chicago Bears. I'll have Brandon Gaudin.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was inevitable. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering Football of the Year, winners of 4 in a row.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up, and we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play's going and being able to make a play on the football.
Onto the field now come the Bears. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Trubisky will throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And a quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They go play action here on 1st down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 18 carries, 79 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Rob Gronkowski, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. First carry for Darius Geis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try the air now with Smith. And that's off the mark, incomplete. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed is one of the best route-running tight ends in the NFL, and it shouldn't be an accident because at one point he was a college quarterback. So at times when he runs routes downfield, I think he's doing it with quarterback eyes and almost in a sense is imagining himself catching a pass from himself.
from the gun on third down. Smith, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This one from 46 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
On second down, Trubisky. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man left side is Gronkowski. And down he'll go at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off of play action, here's Smith. He finds his target, it's Crowder. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, it's Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Coleman. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On second down, Michel. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-6 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. To throw is Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's got a noon one. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover it? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
It's brought in by Dodson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now Smith throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
And his kick here is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And here come the Redskins now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it here with Thompson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, here's Smith. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now it's Smith. And he's got his man. That's Crowder for the Redskins touchdown. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. And they will wind up with the football and the possession.
And that's truly the way to change field position, isn't it? Block the punt and then take over inside the 5-yard line. What a tremendous job by them. You change momentum, you change field position, and give yourself a chance to score.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw, Smith. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Smith going to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Here's Trubisky. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Kamale Correa in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Second and 10, it's Trubisky again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Michel. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Redskins send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first,
and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe you've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper in at 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A give. This is Michelle. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick. Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Play action. It's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Smith operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete as well.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because their only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Preston Smith in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Pressure comes and Trubisky goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here comes the Bears punter now. And he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. Now it's Crowder. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The ball comes out, and I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run with Thompson. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Trying to run the option right side, Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Smith. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Quincy Enunwa, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Going deep downfield for Ross. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play there for Chicago. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Parkey adds the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Smith now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Redskins with a football and the lead as we start the fourth. Now Thompson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Geis with a carry on second down, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, it's Thompson. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And look at this, it's a fake. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. That goes for 15 yards on the fake, a first down. And a lot of fist pumps right now on that sideline. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes, just usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, he's able to pick up the first down.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he's got a noon one. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Offside. Defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw on second down is Smith. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead now up to 22. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I think
foul.
This one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, the spin. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears cut into that lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2. Trubisky will throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, a run with Thompson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Down to a knee, here goes goes Smith, and that should all but do it. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Washington, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Bears, you wonder what this